Hi, my name is Gabrielle Fruget, and this is the video for week 7. Hi, Amanda. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. So last week together we developed a list of goals and a treatment plan so that we can begin to work on some of the issues that you've had. So today, the first problem that you identified with having was bitterness about the recent divorce. And last week before you left, I asked if you could perhaps create a dialogue of how a conversation with your ex-husband on the phone would be. And then maybe we could break that down and see better ways to talk to your ex-husband when y'all are on the phone.
Yeah.
So could you just kind of give me maybe a short phrase of how you would think bitterness towards your ex-husband would be on the phone?
Well, I didn't actually speak to him this last week, but I guess I can kind of give you an example of previous conversations. Mostly, he might try and make an excuse for his absence or something, and then I guess my response to him might be something like, I don't know if he maybe would take it like condescending or whatever, but then he automatically gets defensive and then blames it all on me, which in turn makes me mad at him and bitter towards him because it's not I mean, I guess I have to take some responsibility, but it's not just my fault, but yet he acts like it is. He doesn't want to take responsibility for any of it. Like, I mean, I asked him to work things out, and he refused to. He just wanted to go be with his new person.
So let's pretend that I'm the ex-husband, and I would say, I'm sorry, I didn't pick up the kids this weekend. I've been really busy and I just didn't have time. How would you respond to that?
Well, you're always busy, and the kids miss you. You haven't spent any time with them.
And does he usually take offense to that?
Yeah, that's when he starts to get defensive.
Okay. Do you think that there's a different way that maybe you could say that, or in a different tone that didn't sound so attacking, as to escalate the conversation?
Well, I mean, I'm sure there is, but how do you say that nicely? You know, you're not spending any time with your kids, dude.
Well, do you have any other examples of how it might be a little more escalated and
Well, I mean, I don't remember our exact conversation or any exact words that were said, but with the whole incident when when he had told David that he wasn't going to make it for their camping trip, I mean, it had got pretty heated that time because, I mean, I guess I was yelling too, but because his excuses were lame, it wasn't real excuses, at least come up with something plausible. And so it just made me mad because he's hurting his kids by doing this. And he's not seeing that. He's being selfish about it. And I'm pretty sure I probably told him that.
and do you say those things in front of your kids?
I try not to, but I'm pretty sure they probably heard some of it that time.
So do you think there's a way that you might be able to talk to your ex-husband on the phone without having things escalate into an argument or into name calling, or I mean,
I'd have to really bite my tongue.
have you accepted the fact that you can't change his actions?
Probably not completely. But it just makes me mad that he doesn't even care. Like, they're your kids too. How does he not want to spend time with them? How is the new woman so important that she's taken over even your time with your kids? I mean, if she's really a woman worth having, she should be urging him to spend time with his kids.
So is that what makes you angry about it? Is that he's choosing to spend it with another woman?
Yeah.
Or that he's choosing to not spend time with them at all?
Well, it's both. I mean, the reason I don't know if the situation was different and the other woman wasn't in the picture. I don't know that he would be the same way with the kids. I would think he'd still want to spend time with them.
Hmm. Do you feel that you're over the divorce?
I think I'm getting there.
How long have y'all been divorced now?
Well, it's been about 11 months or so. Well, almost a year.
So it would be fair to say that, you know, it's probably hard for it to be you to feel completely
Well, yeah, I
over
mean,
it.
it's still fresh,
Hmm.
you know.
So what ways do you think you can begin to not feeling so much resentment? When you start to get really angry when you talk to him or think about him, or when you see another weekend go by without your kids being able to see him, are there other things that you can focus more on to maybe distract you from that bitterness?
I don't know. I mean,
I'm only asking you that because I know in the past you've said how you felt like this bitterness was somewhat controlling your life.
yeah, especially at first, you know, it was
Hmm.
a lot worse, but I mean, it's eased up a lot since the very beginning, but it's still there. But it's really just if he would just want to spend time with his kids, you know?
Hmm.
And it wouldn't be a big deal if they didn't miss him so much, but they do. And
And,
they ask about him constantly, you know? It's kind of hard not to be bitter, you
hmm
know?
and you don't really have any control over that, right?
No.
So would it be fair to say that since you don't have any control over that situation, that maybe you could kind of let go of the bitterness a little bit? Because you know that you're doing everything that you're supposed to be doing as far as allowing the kids see him and
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just easier said than done. I
well,
mean,
yeah, it does take time, you
yeah.
know, with anything that's hard for people, you know, resentment is something that lasts a lot longer than we would like it to. Do you think maybe when you go home this week you can make a list of ways that you can try not to be so bitter, or something else that you can try to focus on? Maybe focus on things that you can control versus things that you can't.
Yeah, I can try.